What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Matthews back at it again with the Hometown Take Podcast, episode 11 coming at you right now. Hope you all are doing well. Happy Friday to you all. It is Friday, as some of you like to say. Either way it goes, we have a lot to talk about in this episode today. Of course, we're going to get into the Braves and how they've been doing well. They've been hot. Dallas Keuchel set to start tonight. He's going to make his debut against the Nationals, so hopefully he fares well. But first things first, we got to start with the Atlanta Hawks and their draft last night. Of course, the NBA draft was last night. A lot of moves happening, a lot of trades, but of course, it's the Hometown Take Podcast, so I'm going to focus on our Atlanta Hawks, and the first thing I have to do is got to give it up for my Atlanta Hawks. They had a great draft, and I told y'all back in episode 1 that if we got a combination of, well, there was 4 players that I wanted. I'm going to break it down like this. There were 4 players that I wanted, and if we got any combination of those 4, I was going to be happy. Those 4 players were DeAndre Hunter, Jared Culver, Jackson Hayes, and Cam Reddish. And we got DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish. Also got Bruno Fernando. Don't want to exile him. We got him a second round pick. We were able to get back in the second round. So that was good. Got a big man. So we basically crossed everything off the list that we needed. And we pretty much got the best available for all our positions that we were looking for. Got a great two-way player in DeAndre Hunter. He's going to be able to come right in, help right away. Not a one and done. He has championship experience. Obviously, DeAndre Hunter on that championship team for the Virginia Cavaliers, who just won the national championship. He's gonna be a great defender. He will be able to lock down any player. Obviously, there's gonna be some adjustment period, but he's gonna be able to lock down any player in the league come soon enough. Jumped from 9.2 points in his freshman year in 2017, 2018. And this past season averaged 15.2 points per game, 2 assists, rebounds, does a little bit of everything. So DeAndre Hunter going to be a guy who's going to come in right away and be able to contribute. I think he starts right away. And man, this guy has some big time game. Just look when we get to the postseason. I mean, he showed up. He showed up pretty good against Gardner-Webb. First game, got things started off right. 23 points. Also had 6 rebounds, and he had some okay games. I mean, but the Virginia Cavaliers, they were not a team that relied on one person. They had many people. They had Kyle Guy. They had a bunch of people that they could look to for scoring, and they were defensive too. They weren't high. They didn't try to outscore you. They tried to lock you down defensively. I mean, just look at these scores in the NCAA tournament. Won, of course, 71-56, a higher scoring game because it was kind of a no shade to Gardner-Webb, but a lesser opponent in Gardner-Webb. Then these next couple games, 63-51 against Oklahoma in the second round, 53-49 in the Sweet 16, a high scoring game against Purdue in the Elite 8, but it also went to overtime. They won 80-75, then won 63-62 against Auburn in the Final Four, the semifinal game, and the national championship obviously won 85-77 against Texas Tech. But basically the point is DeAndre Hunter will do his thing. 10 points against Oklahoma, 11 points against Oregon, 10 against Purdue, 14 against Auburn. But in the biggest game, the national championship game, 27 points, 7 of 9 for the field, hit 4 of 5 threes. That is how you ball. He shows up big. He's going to show up big for the Hawks. He's got that winning mentality, coming from a championship team, has been in the college game more than a year, not a one and done, as I mentioned earlier. So a great pickup at number 4, and I think DeAndre Hunter is going to be able to come in and contribute right away for the Atlanta Hawks. Now, moving over to Cam Reddish, he has definitely a higher ceiling than DeAndre Hunter, just because he is very, very talented. He can shoot the ball like crazy, has some pretty active hands on defense. But there are a few questions with Cam Reddish that could leave a little bit of concern. of course, obviously, there have been talks about, is he going to show up every night? Is the consistency going to be there? Is he going to put his all into this? That sort of thing have been the questions for Cam Reddish. His talent is not questioned. He's a baller. He's no scrub. He can shoot the lights out. He can play some pretty good defense. He's long. He's athletic. It's just going to be a matter of, is he going to show up? Is he going to be committed? And is he going to stay committed? And that's really the big question for Cam Reddish. Now, I think with the good guys that we have in there, like Trae Young and John Collins, obviously they're young players. Trae just going into his second year, John Collins his third, but they've done it. They'll be able to at least give him some sort of advice. They're all around the same age. They'll be able to relate to each other. So they'll get in the ear of Cam Reddish and get him right. There's some good guys. We got good guys in the building. Don't have any cancerous players in the building. Hopefully, maybe we can bring back Vince Carter. He's definitely going to need that type of veteran, Vince Carter, for a guy like Cam Reddish. That will mean everything for Cam and his development, just to have that veteran on his side, watching over him and helping him get better and helping him develop. So Vince Carter, just going to go and put it out there. He's a big guy that I would love to bring back, or some type of veteran that's on Vince Carter's level, Vince Carter caliber level, just when it comes to the wisdom, not even for the on the floor production, for the wisdom, for the guidance, and for the development of our young guys that we have. Obviously, Trae and John learned a lot from him. Vince Carter meant a lot to them on that team last year. And he definitely had some help, and he definitely helped in their development. So we're definitely going to need to bring in some type of veteran guy, some veteran leadership for this core of young guys that we have now. I mean, we have a super, super young core. Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, both going into their second year. Omari Spellman as well. Then we got John Collins. I mean, we have a young squad, and not to mention DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish, who we just brought in last night through the draft. So we have a super young core, but a super talented core. It is going to be a great time. Right now is a great time to be an Atlanta Hawks fan. I haven't gone to an Atlanta Hawks game in a minute, but I'm definitely going to at least one Atlanta Hawks game this next year. Hopefully I can go to more, but I don't think I have no finance. I'm just going to put that out there. Anyways, that's besides the point. I'm feeling good about where we're heading in the draft. The Atlanta Hawks had a great draft. Definitely winners in this draft. Don't want to leave out my guy, Bruno Fernando. He had a good stint there at Maryland. Spent 2 years there. Went from 10.3 points per game and 6.5 rebounds his freshman year. Jumped that to 13.6 points per game and almost 11 rebounds a game his sophomore year. Played a year with Kevin Huerter. Obviously, Kevin Huerter from Maryland, so they'll have that connection there. So we're bringing in all the right guys. I feel like we're doing all the right things. I trust our GM, Travis Schlenk, obviously coming from Golden State. He's getting us right, man. In Travis, we trust. That's the start of a hashtag, and we got to push that hashtag. In Travis, we trust. For real. He's getting us right. He is making this rebuild exactly what it needs to be. And, man, I am super, super excited about where we are headed for the future of our Atlanta Hawks. We're going to be an exciting team to watch. We're going to be a fun team to watch. And I'm just going to put it out there, guys. I'm feeling bold. I'm feeling brash on this Friday. I'm going to put it out there. The Atlanta Hawks are making the playoffs this year. I know the East is better. We don't know what's going to happen in free agency, but the Atlanta Hawks are at least going to slide into that 8 seed next year. I'm putting it out there right now. Trae Young in his second year, John Collins in his third, Kevin Huerter in his second year. We're going to make the playoffs next year. We're going to get some playoff experience for our young guys. I mean, it has to start eventually. Why not next year? We got the good pieces in place. Hopefully, after we get Kent Bazemore off the books, after we get Allen Crabbe's probably not going to come back. Unless he just has some monster crazy season. I don't see us bringing him back. It was just for the trade for the draft picks. But once we get his money off the books after next year, after we get Kent Bazemore's money off the books after next year, we're going to have some cap space. We're going to hopefully be able to bring in some high quality free agents. So it's exciting times, man. In a year or 2 or 3, the Atlanta Hawks are going to be some serious contenders. Book it right now. When the Atlanta Hawks are serious contenders in about 3 years, You guys should, I'm gonna make you guys come back to this, what I'm saying right now, and I'm saying book it. This is gonna be history. I'm gonna be the first one to tell y'all the Atlanta Hawks are gonna be serious contenders here in the next 3 years, the very, very recent future. So just book it. But either way it goes, great draft for the Atlanta Hawks, picking DeAndre Hunter at 4, Cam Reddish at 8, and Bruno Fernando at 34. So we're going to see what happens with them. Hopefully all can develop. Hopefully we can keep all the guys together. This is a nice young nucleus that we are starting. Hopefully we can keep them all together. We will see what happens. Only time will tell. So now, moving on to the Atlanta Braves and Major League Baseball. Man, my Braves are doing the dang thing, y'all. Y'all see my Braves? My Braves out here doing the dang thing. That's what I'm talking about, Braves. And, I wish I could say it's been like the pitching, but it really hasn't been that much. Well, okay, these past 4 games, on the most runs we've given up is 3. The past 4 games, won 15-1 against Philly to win that series. Start off the Mets series, won 12-3, lost 10-2, so that wasn't a good game, obviously. Offense didn't do well. Offense didn't do as well as they usually do, and Jacob deGrom is Jacob deGrom, of course. Julio Teheran didn't have a great outing, but Julio had been solid for the past few starts, so we'll let that be what it be. But then we won 7-2, came back. Max Fried had a great game. So now we're starting a away series. We're starting a nice road trip, actually. Let's see, that's a solid 10-game road trip we're gonna venture on starting tonight against the Washington Nationals. We'll be in Washington for 3, go to Chicago for 4, and then we'll be in New York at Citi Field for 3 more until we come back home to visit the Phillies and the Marlins. So still part of that, we're still in the midst of that important stretch here for the Braves. But so far, so good for the Braves. I can't even say they've been doing bad. Hey, when you go on an 8-game winning streak, swept the Marlins for 3, swept the Pirates for 4, and then won 2 out of 3 against the Phillies, and then 2 out of 3 against the Mets? What? Go ahead, Braves. That's why I got to give all the credit. Man, this offense has been going crazy. That boy Josh Donaldson is getting hot. I think he's homered in every game for the past 4 games. Freddie Freeman's doing his thing, showing that power off. Ozzie is hitting the ball nicely. Acuna doing what he does. Man, we're getting going. B-Mac with that nice win. I believe that walk-off win, it was against the Pirates? I believe it was. Either way it goes, the Braves have been on a tear. The offense have been exploding for runs lately, but we knew that. We knew the offense was going to be potent. What's going to be interesting to see now, Keuchel scheduled to get the start tonight. We're going to see how he does. Now, I don't expect Keuchel to go out there and strike out 12 people and go 6 or 7 innings. I don't expect that. He's still coming back. He's going to have to still get his feet wet. Yes, he's made his starts in Gwinnett and Rome, but he's back in the big leagues now, and it's different. It's just different. So Keuchel and Strasburg going to face off tonight, but hopefully Keuchel can do well enough to where he still keeps us in the game, because our offense is going to do the dang thing. Just going to this nice stretch that we've had. So we'll start after this 3-game losing streak that we had, where we lost the 2 against Washington in that 2-game home series that we had, and eggs out the first game in Detroit against Detroit, where we lost 8-2. Since then, we won 10-5 against Detroit, 7-4 against Detroit, 12-5 against the Pirates, lost 7-4, but still got 4 runs against the Pirates when we were in Pittsburgh. Then we lost 6-1, okay. Won 7-1 against the Marlins. only won 1-0 in that second game when we were in Miami on June 7th, 8th, and 9th. Won 7-6 in 12 innings against the Marlins to sweep them. Then won 13-7 against the Pirates. This last homestand we were just on, 13-7 against the Pirates. Then won 7-5, and that was only in 8 innings. Won 8-7 in 11 innings, 6-5 to sweep them and close out that 4-game series. Then won 9-8 against the Phillies, lost 6-5, still scored 5 ones. Then, oh my gosh, opened up a super can of kick butt when we won 15-1 against the Phillies. Then we opened up another big can of kick butt, won 12-3 against the Mets. Then we slowed down a little bit, 10-2, then sped it right back up and won 7-2. So I mean, the offense is just pouring on runs and pouring on runs and pouring on runs. I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy. The Braves are right where we need to be. We're doing the dang thing right now. Everything is going well. We just got to get that pitching, handled, and we'll be okay. Freddie is leading us in every category. Batting average, home runs with 21, hitting .315, 55 RBIs, 403 on base percentage, 92 hits. So Freddie, our guy, our main guy, leading the way, and everybody else is following suit. Acuna has 17 homers, Albies with 11. Of course, Freddie with 21. Dansby has been playing amazing this whole entire season. Nick Markakis only has 6, but we didn't expect Nick to be super great. Like I said, Josh Donaldson has been on a tear these past couple games for 14 homers. Austin Riley, of course, he's cooled down a little bit, but still has 11 homers. He's still been getting hits and driving in some runs and been in the mix. He hasn't had any offers. So everybody is right now at a good level. I just hope we're not peaking now. I just hope that when playoff time comes around and we get to the dog days of August and we get into September, when stuff really, really starts to matter, that we aren't going through a low period. Now, even though we're peaking right about now, hopefully, and we might hit a low again, we're probably going to have another skid, but hopefully we're just playing baseball. We're playing good baseball at the right time, because that's what really matters. Look back to the 2006 Cardinals. They got hot at the right time. I wouldn't say they were a favorite back in 2006, but they got hot at the right time. Albert Pujols in that game strung together a great postseason, and they were world champs. So baseball is one of those games. It's like football. You want to be hot at the right time, and hopefully this team can be hot at the right time. But hey, we're hot right now. Got a 4-game lead against the Phillies. First place in the NL East, right where we should be. Solo dolo. And hopefully we can just keep it up, man. But I'm feeling good about all my teams, man. I've been seeing tweets and stuff about, it's a great time to be an Atlanta sports fan right now, which it is. But I just want to say I've been saying that. I've been saying that off the jump since before all these seasons started, before the Braves season started, all of that. I've been saying that, man. Look at Atlanta United. They're champions, defending champs. Look at the Braves, NL East champs last year. The Falcons, yes, they had a down year last year, but hey, they're reloaded and they're ready to go make a championship run, a Super Bowl run. Look at the Hawks. We just got 2 more great players in the NBA draft. Trae Young, John Collins. Trae Young, Rookie of the Year finalist. John Collins is doing his thing. He can be a 20, 22, 20, and 10 guy this year. Kevin Huerter did a lot more than everybody expected him to. It's a great time to be an Atlanta sports fan right now, people. I'm loving it. Hey, and we're going to follow this journey all the way through on the Hometown Take podcast. Hopefully we bring some chips in very soon. Like Drake, I want my chips with the dip, so bring them dips. That's what I'm talking about. But just wanted to give you guys a reaction to the NBA draft. Again, love it for the Atlanta Hawks picking up DeAndre Hunter, Cam Reddish. Oh my gosh, almost forgot to tell you guys. Went to the draft party last night. Had a free draft party at State Farm Arena. If any of you guys went, it was a great atmosphere. Man, I'm telling you, when the Washington Wizards picked Ari Humuchimura, I probably just butchered his name. Anyways, when they picked him right before our number 10 pick, man, when I tell you the cheers were going in, the place was electric because they knew we were getting Cam Reddish. And when we picked Cam Reddish, when we heard Adam Silver say with the 10th pick in the 2019 NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Cam Reddish, it was a roar in that arena. So look to see them seats filled in State Farm Arena. And my butt definitely going to be in one of them seats, man, because it's going to be an exciting time in Atlanta. It's a great time for all Atlanta sports right now. Hopefully the Falcons can live up to the hype. The Hawks, even though they're still building, they are heading in the right direction. The Braves, hopefully they can stay hot right now, getting into that midseason, turning to the dog days of August. Hopefully they can stay afloat, keep on building upon that 4-game lead in the NL East. So we're going to see, man. But that's all for this episode, guys. Again, great time to be an Atlanta sports fan right now. And the Hometown Take podcast is right in the journey. And we're going to have a good old ride, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.